So, stage 1 of the major is over, and let's say it didn't go too well for me with the pickems. From what I've seen though, not many people have done well with the pickems. Nobody seems happy with them. I mean, I'm not surprised, there's been some crazy shit. But yeah, let's get straight to it. And first of all, I wanted to summarize stage 1 a bit. So let's start with the 3-0 picks. We've got FlyQuest and the Mady. 3-0 picks, the 3-0 teams. FlyQuest and Mady both looked super impressive here. They've done an absolutely great job, they got some nice upsets against B8, against Legacy, Parivision, there's been a bunch of good games here. That beta Mady game was probably my favorite here. Yeah, a really nice showing from both of them, not much to add. I thought they would make it through, they ended up making it 3-0, whatever, it happens. Now as for the free ones, I think NIP looked okay. To be honest, I thought they were very disappointing in the first game. But, from that point onwards, they looked very good. They dominated against Lin, they dominated against FaZe, and then gave no chance to Fluxo. Yeah, honestly, how many rounds have they lost since actually losing to Energy in the first round? I don't think they lost too many rounds. It was very dominant games all around, really. So yeah, NIP is looking hot coming into the next stage. Too bad they couldn't make it that 3-0 that I predicted, but, again, it happens. Now, B8 and Fnatic, I didn't have them in my pick'em. I considered both of them. I didn't put either. And if I'm being honest, I think B8 fully deserves it, looking at the teams they played. While Fnatic, I would question Fnatic's spot there. If we look at their games, they beat Red Canids, they beat Imperial, and they beat Energy. I didn't think any of those teams were making it in. And they also lost to Fluxo, who turned out to be just massive frauds. Who could have guessed? But yeah, going to the 3-2s, FaZe. Oh, I might have a lot to say about FaZe. I might have to make a separate video. But in short, when it comes to FaZe, they just completely failed to integrate Jacob into the team. The playstyles of their players are just clashing together, and Karrigan and Neo seem out of it completely. I'm gonna maybe make a separate video once the major is over. Imperial, yeah, they snuck in. That's just kind of, again, the matchups really worked for them. They're probably gonna be one of the most common 0-3 picks in the next stage, and for a good reason. And Parivision, I just watched their game against Legacy. It just ended half an hour ago. My god, what a great game it was. I wish both these teams could be in there instead of Imperial or Fnatic. But best of ones, all that stuff, yeah, unfortunately makes it so that only one of those will be in there. Man, really sad, because they gave us a great show, but seeing Jame in the next stage is an absolute treat. And while I think that their stock kinda dropped for me, they're still definitely gonna be a very fun team to follow. Now let's go from the 0-3, so let's again scale from the teams that played the least. Reratom and Linvision. Reratom, I think many people predicted that. I would say I'm not surprised. Linvision though, oh boy, Linvision. Yeah, I think it's a total disappointment. Linvision was definitely meant to do so much more. People were predicting that they could upset FaZe in that first game. A lot of people, including me, thought they would be a very tough matchup for FaZe. But yeah, no, they just kinda absolutely fizzled out throughout this tournament. I think especially their game against the Huns is disappointing, because FaZe and the NIP, these are at least tough matchups. The Huns, their local rivals, who seem to be much worse, at least usually. Yeah, no, very disappointing, and I don't know what happens with the roster going further. Reratom, I wouldn't be surprised to see a full rebuild. Marek definitely has to go, right? I don't know why he's even playing in the first place. I honestly kind of forgot that he was playing in my pickems initially. If I did more of a deep dive on this team, maybe I would have actually picked them 0-3, seeing as Marek is playing, but yeah, oldest major rookie ever, that's something. Then the 1-3 teams, Red Canids, almost beating FaZe, but I don't think they were too impressive. I did say they're gonna win at least one game, they did win one game, but they didn't do much other than that. The Huns, I'm very annoyed that they won a game, but again, it is what it is, they didn't look too good in the end. Lost to Imperial pretty easily. And yeah, I'd say probably not too many great prospects on this team as well. I haven't really seen anything too impressive from them. Gamer Legion, now they were a big disappointment, and I think the crazy part is that Hypex wasn't a letdown. Contrary to what I would think from before the tournament, I didn't actually look at the stats yet, so maybe the stats tell a different story, but from what I watched of them, it seemed like Hypex was playing pretty damn well. From what I've seen, it was Rez mainly, definitely letting people down there. PR not playing as well as we probably would hope he would. And yeah, Gamer Legion, one of the bigger disappointments of the event for sure. I think honestly, Ashu's stock is gonna be hurt a bit after this. I've seen also Slend making a tweet towards them saying oh, maybe it's time for another upper change than Gamer Legion. Just kinda sending a little bit of a shot towards Ash and the GL management maybe. Although admittedly he was a 0.9 upper, so there's that. And yeah, now the 2-3s, and we got some absolute fraudulent teams here. Fluxo and Energy, I don't know what happened on that first day. Fluxo, definitely a bit of a fluke. See what I did there. But yeah, no, getting 2 best-of-1 wins to then get absolutely smacked in 4 consecutive maps on days 2 and 3, and then almost beat FaZe at the end, crazy. trajectory to go on. And in my stage 1 pick'em, I didn't really specify why I had no faith in Fluxo, and it all comes back to art. I want to just, clarify that. I just don't believe in art's IGLing, because I think they have some talented players. I mean, Zevi has been a talent for like 5 years, which I think at this point we should stop calling him a talent, but he's been like a Brazilian talented opera for like 5 years. Then I also really like Lukauzi. I think he's amazing, and Dechanty is also not bad, but yeah, I just don't buy art's IGLing, and I don't think I will ever since the Paris major. Now, Energy, I said they were frauds, but I mean, they were playing with a coach at the end of the day. Maybe on the first day of the major, there was a bit of magic to it with them, where they kind of felt more motivated by playing with the coach, felt less stressed. I think that's what Sonic said, actually, that they just felt less stressed, and so they were just flowing with the game. But yeah, after teams got some time to prep for them playing with Dubs and actually read the way they play with him, there was not much they were doing in the remaining 3 games. Honestly, kind of a massive letdown near the end of the event. And Legacy, I mean, I'd love to see them in the next stage. Again, Fnatic and Imperial, absolute frauds. They shouldn't be in stage 2, but maybe they will shut my mouth. Maybe they will actually do well and prove that they deserve to be there, kind of like Legacy did at the last major. But for now, I'm very sad that they didn't manage to make it through. I am happy for Parivision though. So it's actually the next day, because I didn't want to wait for the pickems for too long, and they just weren't showing up the stage to pick'em. And now I gotta do it quickly because I'm about to be leaving. So I'm sorry if I'm a bit not in form here. But yeah, okay, let's look at the stage 2 teams, and yeah, I'll quickly just mention the stage 1 teams, I guess, as we go by. So first of all, I don't think there's that many great teams here still. Stage 1 had like none of them. This stage still has barely any. Aurora is probably one of the stronger ones here, but they are very shaky. We'll see which sides they show us during the major here. Navi, same story as Aurora really. They've been having a bit of a slump, but they can be dangerous still. They're kind of like FaZe, although not as bad. Astralis, I think, looking at their recent results, I wouldn't say they're in great form. 3D Max, I'd actually say, are one of the favorites here. I would actually consider them a pretty strong 3-0 contender, just because of how unstable the other teams are, and they seem like they have their slip-ups, but they're at least somewhat regular in their results. Now, Team Liquid, they've been on an upswing, I'd say. I would love to see them do well here. I think I'm gonna have them advancing. I don't know if I'm gonna have them in the 3-0s. I really doubt it, but I actually kind of like Team Liquid here. MIBR and Passion UA and Tailu are 3 teams where I think, like, should they be here, honestly? I mean, I don't know who else would take their spot. And as for the stage 1 teams, as I said, I believe Fnatic and Imperial are some of the biggest frauds here, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna put Fnatic 0-3. So, I don't know, let's start with Imperial, I guess. I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident in putting them 0-3. But now for the other 0-3, I think there's a couple of choices, because I actually think that Fnatic, they're a good choice, but I also think that Tailu or even Passion UA or MIBR might be legit picks. Okay, maybe not MIBR. I actually think MIBR could be pretty good here. But Tailu, Passion UA and Fnatic, I don't believe in any of them. But Tailu is, at the same time, Tailu is the only Chinese team left at the tournament. I kinda don't wanna say they go out 0-3. It would be really sad if all Chinese teams went out 0-3. So, I think I'm gonna stick to my guns and say that Fnatic are absolute frauds, and I'm gonna put them 0-3. Now, of course, the truth is best of ones might just absolutely flip the script here, Who are they playing first? So yeah, Fnatic will play 3D Max, which I think they shouldn't win. But Imperial is playing MIBR, and that kind of depends on how MIBR looks. So I'm worried that they might just win their best of ones, and that would be really tragic. But whatever, I mean, Imperial is the one team where I'm like pretty confident in the 0-3. Fnatic, I hope they just choke. And moving on to the teams that advance. You know what, let's start with the 3-0s, because I don't feel confident putting any of those teams in the 3-0 bracket. But I was actually thinking about just putting Aurora and Navi there and hoping that one of them shows up. So, I don't know, let's think. Let's see Aurora and Navi for now. And I might just swap them with someone else later. Okay, and now as for teams that advance. I'm pretty sure about 2 of them. I'm gonna put 3D Max there, and I'm gonna put Team Liquid there. And the reason being, I just think they are teams that are a level above this stage. I think they should be making it just like I thought FaZe should make it easily last stage. I think these teams are just a little bit at that higher level. Now, if stage 1 never happened, I would have been putting Parivision through here 100%. After stage 1 though, I'm not so sure. Same with FaZe. I would have been still considering FaZe here if not for stage 1. Now I don't think I will. Honestly, I'm kinda tempted to put FaZe in because I feel like this always happens, everyone thinks, oh, FaZe is over, FaZe is dead, but they are now warmed up after stage 1, they've played a couple of games on the stage. I feel like they could win the best of ones this time, and if they win both best of ones, then they have so many chances to make it that they will eventually make it, I think. Like, I don't see FaZe going from 2-0 up to 2-3 down, as bad as they might be right now. Because yeah, FaZe, absolutely let me down during stage 1, but they are still FaZe, and I kinda wanna believe in them. Okay, let's leave FaZe and Pari for now. I actually want to go with NIP now. I think NIP is very underrated. I think they actually looked amazing during stage 1. You know, they had that one slip up against NRG where they looked horrible, but then, I mean, like, FaZe game was very dominant. You know, their other games were pretty dominant as well. You know, Flaxo and Linvision. I mean, sure, Linvision ended up going out 0-3, so maybe it's not that big of a win, but I still think, like, on paper, it's a big win. And then you've got Flaxo, who, you know, they did do well in the first day, and then against FaZe during day 4. So they weren't, like, total pushovers, but NIP totally pushed them over. I think they're worth taking a chance on here, especially since, you know, we should be expecting upsets. Now, I actually think B8 might be very good. I mean, B8, they won games against Legacy and who was it? We looked at it yesterday. Regardless, they won against some strong teams. I think B8 might be a serious contender here. I'm gonna go with MIBR though. I'm gonna go with MIBR. And the reason I wanna go with MIBR is that I just feel like they could be very strong. I feel like they've been showing some good CS, even if they didn't get any results out of it recently. They've just been looking solid. Now, honestly, from the remaining teams, I want to start putting some of them, like, away. Like, some teams that I'm definitely not picking. And these teams will be Passion UA. I just don't believe in this team. I think keeping Nyx was a big mistake. So Passion UA is staying off for sure. Tyloo, I mean, as much as I would love for a Chinese team to be in the last stage, I think Tyloo is just not in a great state right now, and I'm gonna leave them off as well. But if they make it through, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I've got an IP and an MIBR making it through. I wouldn't be shocked if Tyloo beat them, or even like Liquid or 3D Max. I wouldn't be shocked if they beat anyone here, honestly. Then I think FlyQuest is gonna be another team that I'm gonna eliminate right away. Because FlyQuest, you know, they did it very well stage 1, but at the same time they did run into Fluxo, who again did well the first day, but then had 2 very shitty days, and then fought FaZe on the last day. I mean, I feel like Fluxo might have still been massive frauds, and maybe this win doesn't mean as much. So yeah, that leaves us 4 teams for 2 slots, where we got Astralis, we got B8, we got FaZe, and we got Pari. Now, I don't think I'm putting FaZe through here. As much as I want to believe in the dream, as much as I want to think that they can still, you know, phase up. What I've seen from them so far this tournament, like, they went to a bootcamp before this event. It seems like they worked on like 1 or 2 maps. Like, their dust is okay, and then pretty much everything else just sucks ass. So I think I can't put them through just based on, oh, they're gonna get dust in every best of 1 and win it, and then get one of the best of 3s with a lucky win. Like, I don't think I can put them through on that, so I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna be putting FaZe through, and I'm probably gonna regret it. They're probably gonna make it through now, but, you know, whatever. So Astralis, B8, and Pari. I'm really tempted to just put B8 and Pari through, but at the same time, Astralis, I mean, they are still not a bad team. Like, sure, they're a bit... Are they not a bad team, actually? I mean, okay, I never had faith in Hooksy. I never rated Device as highly as other people. I still think he's a great opper. I never rated him as like a top opper, like not like the best opper in the world, right? But they do have Ster, who plays very well. And that's the issue as well. Their best player is Ster, though. Like, if you want to look at Astralis and say what they have, they don't have Device, or they don't have Yabi. Ster is the guy you look at. He's their best player. And you know what? I think on that grounds, I'm gonna say that I'm putting B8 and Pari Vision through. Because this major is crazy already, and I already don't have chances for a Diamond Coin. I might as well go a bit wild with it, okay? So I'm gonna put B8 and Pari Vision through. I might regret that, you know. It could be M80 making it. Right, I forgot about M80 actually. Well, maybe I do put M80 through. Maybe I do have them over Pari Vision here. Because Pari, again, they kind of let me down stage 1. This is now more interesting, because I didn't consider M80 in the end. Do I put them over Pari or B8? You know, I actually kind of think maybe over B8. I want to believe in the dream. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to believe in the dream. I want to believe that James can make it. So I'm putting M80 through. And now the 3-0 picks, do I change them? Navi and Aurora, I mean... Okay, actually, no. You know what? After thinking about it, 3D Max and Liquid will be my 3-0s. Yeah, that's going to be it. Because I think it's more likely that one of these teams chokes it out of the tournament than Aurora or Navi. I think Aurora or Navi, even if they lose a game, I think they still make it. While Liquid or 3D Max, they might just not show up at all. And also, just to add something about Liquid, maybe I'll talk about it more in my FaZe video if I make it, but we need to start a convo about twists if Liquid do well here, because, you know, I would say that Twist is the best individual player in FaZe, but, you know, I would also say that about Twist back when he was on Liquid, and look at where Liquid is now without Twist. Look at how much better they are. Yeah, I mean, there might be something there. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to just quickly showcase here, because I didn't do it for the last stage, my fantasy team. I this time decided to do a fantasy team, and yeah, this is what I went with. I mean, honestly, the pricing is really rough. I'm not really happy with this, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna hope that Liquid and Aurora can do well here and that Parivision doesn't choke, and I think Cielo, for the price he goes for, might be an amazing pick. So yeah, this is my fantasy team, and thank you for listening. I hope you hear me in another video. Bye.